Alright, so I'm going to do the radio button and I'll come back to the combo box. So for our radio button, it's the individual radio button, and as I said, normally you want to see if it's checked or not, and then depending if the person did select it, we want to do something specific. So if you want to pay attention, that would be a good idea. So with our checkbox and radio button, they are exactly the same actually. So they will normally go with the if, and then you'll just do in this one, this is our radio button. Radio button, and we use the .checked property. So you can just say if that radio button is checked is equal to true. True for checked, false for not checked. So if you wanted to say something, if it's not checked, you'll just equal to false. And if you want to say or do something, if it is checked, you just say if that thing checked is true. Then you do whatever you want to do. So that could be like another show message, maybe radio check, whatever. And now obviously you can do any code in there. So if it's checked, you can add a certain amount of money to a variable. Like if the person checked he wants extra food or whatever, then add X amount to his cost or whatever. So that's how our radio button will work. And our checkbox works exactly the same. So you're just going to do your if, and then we'll do our checkbox.checked, and if that thing is true, meaning it's checked, and then we can also display something checkbox checked. Question, let's say in the combo box we want to add something to a particular position. So how that works, we're going to work with the items. Items is our important property of the combo box. So if you're going to go your combo box dot items, and then in square brackets you can refer to the position. So if I say my combo box items, the first position should be, and then I'm gonna say in there option new. Let's quickly see what this will do. Right, so now, okay, remember all the stuff I just want to show you in my combo box at this stage. I've got option 1, option 2. Alright, so now let's click our button that it will do all the code. So that's our input box, and then it's our message box, and it changes all that stuff. Let's see what happened to this one now. It added option 3 at the bottom, and then you can see my option new. Option 2 is gone now, and there's only an option new now there. At this stage we would have seen now what changed was the second option became option new. Alright, so that's the first thing we need to realize here now, is that with the combo box items, 0 is position 1, and 1 is position 2, and 2 is position 3. So when we changed position 1 to option new, it removed the second option. So you can see with this way of doing it, you will actually replace what's there with this option. While if you do this option, it adds it to the bottom. So if I'm going to click the button the first time, it's going to add option 3 to the bottom. If I click it again, it's going to add another option 3. So then number 4 will be also option 3. And if I click it again, number 5 will also be option 3. So this adds option 3 to the bottom. However, this one will make the second one option new every single time. So it doesn't add something new. It changes what's there to this. Yes.
So then how would you, instead of replacing it, add it to that position?
So you want to add it and everything else must move down. Okay, that you'll have to do with a little bit of coding. There's no easy way to do that. So you'll have to sort of wing it a bit. So you can go combobox.items.insert, and if you say 2, that means in the third option it's going to put this. So this, remember, code goes top to bottom. So it would have added option 3, then it would change option 2 to new, then in position 3 it inserts this optional extra. So our option 3 will actually become option 4, and this will become option 3 then. So this will insert it into that position. Right. Then radio button group. So with this one, there's options that the user will choose on the inside there. Now with a radio button, can I select more than one thing? Can I select more than one option with a radio button? No. So remember, that is our big difference between radio buttons and checkboxes. If you want multiple options to be selected, use checkboxes. With the radio button, it's to only choose one. It's sort of like gender. You must choose one. Or in which grade are you? You have to choose one. You can't be in multiple grades. So that's what the radio button is for. So we, in this case, there could be 10 different options, but we want to know which one was selected. So if I ask you, let's say there was 10 things. You agree you want to, there's 2 different ways you can work with this. Either you could want the position. He selected the 3rd one or the 4th one. Or you could want the word to say option 1 was selected, option 2 was selected. So I'll show you both. Right, so for the radio button, let's say we want the position. So if you want the position selected, to agree that will be a number, an integer, because it will be either 1st or 2nd or 3rd. So in this case, we'll use our integer input. And then what you do is you use your radio button group, and you use item index. Item index gives you the position of the one that was selected. Alright, so this will tell you 0 for the first one, or 1 for the second one, or 2 for the third one. So again, this starts with 0. If we get 0, it was the first one that's selected. If you want to check that if the person did not select any of them, the default value for this will be -1. So if nothing is selected, your answer there will be -1. So if I input is -1, that meant he didn't choose anything. But once he starts selecting one, it will either be a 0 for 1, or 1 for 2, or 2 for 3, and so forth. Right. So that's to get the position that was selected. If you want the option that was selected, that would be a string. So that will be our S input. And for that, you're going to use your radio button group. And then we use our items. Then you go square brackets. And inside the square brackets, you go again your radio button group. And then you use item index. So what actually happens here, remember like this one, when we wanted to change a specific one, we said the combo box.items, and then we put the number in there, because that will change that specific one for us. Now the same thing applies here. So that's why we went radio button groups .items and then square brackets. But now the one you want to look at, inside there we use the item index. And remember, item index gave us the position of the one that was selected. So it's sort of combining the two. We find out which position was selected, and then I ask it, give me the item at that position. So if position 1 was selected, I'm going to get the item at position 1 and put that in there. And that's basically how you get the word out of that specific one that was selected. You know what? I forgot here. Also the list box. Right. So If you can remember it like that, that's good. Otherwise, you can just learn this one. So you do your dot items. That's to get a specific item out with square brackets. And if you want the one that was selected, you put dot item index, because that gives you the index of the one that was selected. If I put inside there, if I put a 0 there, it would automatically give me the first one every time. It would say option 1 every single time. Next time we'll quickly finish this. It will be very quick. And